Yeah, nah, it don't exist. That's not a thing. And it's crazy y'all are saying it is a thing. Because saying white privilege in itself is racist.
Let me stop you right there. White privilege does exist. It existed ever since they came and stole this land, my guy. And you talking about saying white privilege exists is racist? First of all, you don't know the definition of being racist. It's feeling more superior to another while also hating them for the color of their skin. No minority can feel more superior to a white person. Nobody can be racist to a white person except a white person. Because minorities always look down as the bottom people. Therefore, they can never feel superior to a white person.
A white person cannot do anything that a black man can't do, that a Hispanic can't do, that an Asian can't.
Well, can we get some equal rights over here? Can us Hispanic and black folks get some equal rights over here, please? Whew, sorry guys, I just woke up. But first I want to start out by saying, y'all acting like everybody wasn't originally black anyway. Like, scientists literally proved that. And I didn't know that you had to be Native American to know Native American history. And you saying it goes deeper than this, so I don't know what I'm talking about. First off, I go deeper in history than you will ever know. So trust me, you don't know. I do this for a living. I noticed that a lot of people actually knew that Native Americans was originally black because I had hundreds of thousands of likes on the video. But I just thought I should address this right quick. The same ones that got mad at my video are the same ones that don't know that Mexicans, Latinos are Native Americans. The reason y'all are mixed with so many things right now is because y'all were colonized. The oldest bones found in America was from a black Native American named Lucia.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope.
Psych! Like, can people stop getting dumber on this app? Like, y'all say dumb stuff. And y'all think people really just finna sit here and be like, oh, I agree. Like, come on. Stop saying dumb stuff. Because you know you're gonna get backlash for it. And you know you racist. Everything, you don't support Black Lives Mattering because of police brutality. But you support Blue Lives Mattering. Like, that just proved the point right there. And don't ever use a black person's song to post something racist. Like, y'all killing me, bruh. Killing me. If you didn't already know the truth behind Christmas, well, I'm about to let you know. Christmas is not based off the birth of Jesus. In the Bible, it doesn't even tell you when Jesus was born. Christmas is based off these pagan gods. Also in the Bible, Jeremiah 10:2-4, it says, do not learn the ways of the nation. They cut a tree out of the forest, and a craftsman shapes it with this chisel. Then adorn it with silver and gold. They fasten it with the hammer and nails it so it does not move. These religions are lost. God knew before then that y'all was going to worship a day that was never meant for him. He said, do not learn the way of the heathens, and these churches are teaching y'all the wrong way. Y'all are doing exactly what the Bible are saying not to do. These religions are having y'all go the wrong way, so please learn more about Christmas.
Hey black people, stop calling white people crackers. It's just as bad as the N-word without the history. They're both racially motivated, degrading terms. You're gonna say, well, the N-word has history behind it. Yeah, well, so does cracker. Not the word, but the origin. Cracker means the crack of the whip, referring to the whip that whites used to whip blacks. So it's offensive to you too.
My guy, no, they are not the same. Cracker originated from England from peasants who can only eat crackers. It had nothing to do with race. And the definition of cracker that you just gave wasn't even popular back then. And it still had nothing to do with race. It only determined if you had slaves or not the color of your skin. One is simply derogatory related. The other is actually racist. And notice how you said the N-word, but said cracker. Why wouldn't you have said the C-word if it was actually racist? The story of Emmett Till. Emmett Till was a 14-year-old African-American who was lynched in Mississippi in 1955 after being accused of offending a white woman in her family's grocery store. Emmett Till went to go visit the South because he wanted to go be around his cousins for the summer. Emmett lived in the North where he had white friends and discrimination wasn't as bad. Emmett and his cousins decided to walk to the grocery store. He was later then accused of whistling at this white woman. Later that night, these two white men broke into Emmett Till's cousin's home looking for Emmett. Those two men was sent by the white woman who said that Emmett whistled at her. They soon took Emmett to a barn and did unhuman things to him. And as you know, these two white men got away with murder. They soon came out and told the actual story of how they used an axe to cut up his face in the barn. They took his eyes out of his head and threw his body into a lake. His mom was horrified and decided to have an open casket for Emmett. She was on her deathbed a few years ago and she decided to tell the truth and said everything was a lie. Emmett never whistled at her.
Guys, you wanna know what I'm sick and tired of? The media pushing this narrative that apparently white people are just out killing black people. That the police are just out killing black people. But that isn't the case. Guys, 94% of black people in America that are killed by other black people. But no one talks about that.
The fact that he said that the media do not push on black crime shows how very ignorant and very uneducated he is. Second of all, black on black crime happens because of gang violence. Gang violence is based on drugs, money, and killings. So common sense that most majority of black people are in the gang. Second of all, police brutality, yeah, white people get killed more by policemen, but that's because they actually show threat. Videos prove how police treat black people compared to white people. They kill black people because of the color of their skin. Second of all, the reason why they push white on black crime is because America was based on racism. America was based on white people killing black people. So of course they're going to talk about that. And of course it's necessary for them to talk about the lynchings that has happened that we do not know about. If you didn't know the truth behind Easter, well, I'm about to tell you. Easter was made by a paganism god. Christ Jesus never taught Easter, nor did any one of his disciples, ever. But for some reason, they made this day to worship him for his resurrection day. Easter came from a paganism woman claiming she was a god, saying that she came from the moon in an egg. Her name was Ishtar, but you can pronounce it as Easter. She symbolizes a sex symbol. Also paganism. God never said for you guys to pick this day to worship his resurrection day. Y'all should worship that every day. Worship him every day. But for some reason y'all pick a paganism God who got exactly the definition of what Easter is. It's time you guys wake up and find out the truth behind all of these pagan holidays.
Yes, my boyfriend is black. Me and him both believe in all lives matter. So now I'm getting called racist because I say all lives matter.
I really don't know what y'all white girls get for saying that y'all have black boyfriends. The apple don't fall too far from the tree from your ancestors, my guy. Just because you like black D do not mean you like black people. Your ancestors like black D too, but they didn't like black people. That's why they had slaves and whipped them just like they did all the other people. So stop saying you have a black boyfriend or black friends to justify if you are racist or not. Because that doesn't change anything. Because your ancestors had black slave boyfriends on the side too. Just like how y'all white girls be doing false accusations about black guys raping y'all today. Y'all ancestors did the same exact thing. Soon when a black slave man didn't want to do it with them, they'll tell their husbands that the black slave man tried to rape them and the husband will hang them. And that's why I say the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Oh, so the flag is just a fabric, right? Just like how the N-word's just a word, so we should all be allowed to say it? What's that? It has history to it? I'll just step out. You guys got that.
Oh, so you really thought you did something, right? Let me handle it. Doesn't that flag stand for justice for all? But is that really true? Let's be honest. Didn't y'all take that racist verse off the national anthem? Let's be honest. Ain't the history about that flag is having slaves? And the only reason that y'all don't have slaves now is because it was over money and taxes. Not because they wanted freedom for the black people. But you say justice for all, right? The N-word is the history behind that flag too, if you didn't know. So you say the N-word has history, but the flag also has history. But the N-word is a part of that flag's history, my guy. That's a knee slapper! The history behind wearing braids. Let's get straight into it. So what if I told you that cornrows were actually used as maps to freedom? The braiding styles that we use today in this generation was actually created by our ancestors during slavery as an escape route to freedom to get away from their oppressors during the Middle Passage. Also, braids were used to put rice and seeds into their hair as they separated from their children and families so they would have things to eat because they wasn't giving them food. So they would have to grow their own food as they separated to the journey during the Middle Passage. And to make things worse, whites used dead slaves' hair to create furniture. And those same old people that are alive right now have that same furniture today. And that's on culture appropriation.
Then why do you watch football or basketball or listen to rap?
Alright, if you want to culture appropriate, then why don't you stop speaking English, stop using anything that runs on electricity, and stop using guns? Also, basketball and football were created by white people. And also, rapping is rhyming, and that's a white thing.
My guy, you said stop speaking English because that's cultural appropriation. White people wasn't the first ones on earth. They didn't make the English language. And let's use common sense here. Let's be honest. Use your brain. Football and basketball wouldn't be the way it is without black people. Your real talk wouldn't even be watching the sport if it wasn't for black people. And you said rap is created by white people. Let's be honest. The only white rappers I know is MGK and Eminem. And you said stop using electricity. Let's be honest. White people didn't create that stuff.
Hey, this is for all you angry ass black women that are posting TikTok saying white privilege and shit. Shut the fuck up. It's 2020. Nobody gives a flying fuck about your skin color. You just want fucking clout and you're so strong. Shut the fuck up.
You do know the prison industrial complex profits off of slavery, right? No? Alright, let me educate you. The 13th Amendment was put in place to abolish acts of slavery. Although stereotypes still exist, racism still exists, and not justice always comes for the second-class community. Therefore, if you don't know the history behind prison, it was because since they took away slavery, they made up prisons to convict black people into prisons. So let's talk about the wrongly convicted. For example, black people are 7 times more wrongly convicted of murder, 3.5 times more wrongly convicted of sexual assault, and 12 times more wrongly convicted for drug crimes. So what point was you making?
But if you want me to come with facts, here's the facts. When the Civil War started, and the South was fighting for liberty, independence, etc., over taxes. That's what the Civil War started over. Not slavery. Common misconception that was brought in 2 years.
My guy, Google is not that hard to find. Come on now. I don't know where you got your non-factual evidence of how the Civil War started, but that was completely wrong.
It's because my flag doesn't make me a racist, just like your skin color don't make you a bad person.
I just love how y'all try to compare a skin color to a flag. It's your choice to carry a racist flag around. You don't get to choose your race. And it's sad how some of y'all are really racist and don't even know you're racist. Like, how does a certain skin color make you a bad person? Like, come on now. You really just try to compare that to the history of that flag. Some of y'all just dead on uneducated for real. And try to sound smart. Like,